Erdemli. This is a town with its heart smelling like salt. This is a town bearing love inside. This is a town billowing yearning. Its sea saluting migratory birds. Its history greeting visitors. As its streets are walked every day, the town calls out to footprints like a poet. My hometown, my hometown, my hometown. I don't have a hat left that was the work of you, neither shoes that carried out your roads. My last shirt was torn to pieces long ago, which was made of Chile fabric. Now you are only on the white of my hair and the infract of my heart, one of the lines of my forehead, my hometown, my hometown, my hometown. There is a town telling about longing inside, with its yearning scaled in its heart. This is a town saluting great Ataturk. Armies, your first goal is the Mediterranean. This is a town with its palms smelling like lemons. What gathers on its beaches are yellow loves indeed. A town exists to laugh in the future. Its eyes are deep blue, its songs smelling like the sea. Erdemli. Meeting place of all beauties, the crossing point of love extending from green to blue. Erdemli, where lemons are considered as gold once upon a time, where children with red cheeks on their mother's back in the garden smile to the people of this town. Summer, July, grabs the sun from its bosom. Its feet pulls it into the blue. A brave man calls out at the Taurus mountains, dolphins and cinereous smells like love in the Mediterranean. Oregano traces in gorgeous highlands. Erdemli. You go to the furthest west. A girl salutes you inside a castle in the middle of the sea. Its heart beats at Maiden's Castle. Maybe a basket of grapes started its journey at the Black Castle before it died. Would you think that there is a beeline between the castles? Maybe many dolphins exchange glances with sirenas, promise to protect the beautiful daughter of the king. Sea urchins, blue crabs, may not have interfered with the fate, and the snake, an image of the fate. Besides, do you know about the kneeling of that great, majestic king? Beaten by snake's poison in the Black Castle. Who knows what else this town went through? You walk to the east and art meets you in Ayash. You find the trails of Eluce Sebaste in Ayash Antique Theatre. You don't say that human beings wouldn't know about arts. Take a look. What that art made, the people built under the sky. Who knows what lives, what fates did that art touch quietly, or with all of its noise? You get closer to the town, smelling like history, step by step. Also known as Canli Divane, who knows what kind of lives, what kind of deaths the structure of this town witnessed. Breathing of these ruins, this silence and tumult, these ramparts standing erect and stones lined up quickly like naive music, and the footprints of all these drag you to all life experiences. And Canli Divane is the name of many deaths in many mangles. This town has witnessed all calls of history, of all its lovers, of all its farewells and pains. Many women, children, men, patients, elderly, all of them breathed in the same air to their lungs in this town. And do you think that this town is not going on sharing all of its beauty with us? Lemas Canyon is the nicest treat made to human perception. Along with Kayaji Valley, Who knows what else were carried in these tunnels, canals, arches where water was carried once upon a time, in climates worth living, worth breathing. Who knows which children cooled in its waters, and maybe they flew to the cool blue of the Mediterranean with longing. All of the castles of this town must have a separate love, a separate scent, and a separate tale. So, all of these nice scents of this town are still beautiful and are expanding lifespan of all seeing eyes, hearing ears, and sensing hearts. How many more times these castles will witness conquests if they manage to stand up? How many more impossible loves will be born with the key of these castles and be the final breath? The town will live, humans will breathe, and history will continue to witnessing with all of its magnificence for life. It will go on to be a separate mystery, a separate call of tens of castles within a humongous settlement. Erdemli castles are the legacy left for all humanity. What else did rising sun bring in a new day? What births, what lives, and what deaths? The graves are made of stones, and they hide not only the dead inside, but also the stories that need to be told. Do you know that a separate love, a separate sorrow, a separate ambition, a separate existence, and an extinction are harboured within each grave with the manner of blinking? This town greets births, lives, and deaths with all of its magnificence. Erdemli. Who would think that these are the only beauties of this town? Look around. Look. What other waterfalls you will see arm in arm with the rustle of the flowing water in dragged lives. Look what lakes you will see to live like all loves. It raised its hands for a drop of water from its creature. Look, what churches you will see, fearing God, whose hands are those at the edges of all liturgies, all prayers, both in churches and shrines, mosques begging for God. Take a great look at this town. This town is so apparent that it drags you inside with all of its intertwines, all of its longings. This town has had women filling water at its fountains throughout history, and it tells you so much as you kiss its eyes with longing. You bend and drink a bowl of water, and this town becomes a witness for you too. its colourful flowers smile at you in the kiss of love. Do you know what poems were based on the oldest ruins in my hometown? Who knows how many artists used to look at them for their poems, paintings, novels, and loves? How many goats met milk in a pipe's tone? How many nomadic lives lost how many babies to a hawk? What reliefs were made as decoration? On how many columns, how many stones, how many doors, and how many rock tombs, so they will teach us to be caressed by the back of a hand. How many battles were watched at how many turrets at the frost of night? In the morning of a day, how many passages were allowed? How many passages were caught? How many passages? Some of them hostile, some of them like a warm glass. Young girls to be wed pick yellow lemons from the greenest trees for their hearts in need. Hard-working people struggled so that human beings will not go hungry as they wipe their forehead sweat with a field rag. Each loaf of bread, flatbread and pate are the cause of the most delicious conversations. Fed lambs are in the safe custody of red-cheeked children with the satisfaction of dry bread. They sang songs, laments are the testimony of this town from a future to another future. How many hands were waved to all of new life experiences? From the historical town to the modern town. Who knows what kind of beauties this town saw, and it is expecting what kind of beauties to be lived. Who knows how many beginnings this town is yet to see? How much filth was washed up to be given as gift to humans? And Erdem came from the most beautiful, most brave, most loving horizon of history. Erdemli will be the subject of how many hearts, how many minds, how many loves. Erdemli, Erdemli, beautiful hometown of people who deserve to live. Erdemli, where history and modernity met, where all beauties raced to meet one another. Beautiful hometown of beautiful people. Come, touch all loves of this town, lived and to be lived, with the winter and the summer in the shadow of all of its majesty. Draw all of its sense in. See, this town raised its hands, with all of its yearning, all of its smiley glances. It is calling out to you. Erdemli. Erdemli Municipality.